Now that was a kick-ass episode of Dragon Ball Super. Probably my favorite episode of Dragon Ball Super, and all around it just felt like, bam! This is the fight that a lot of people that love Dragon Ball Z like. These are the episodes that if we were a kid, we would go to school and talk about all day the next day after watching Toonami, because it was just non-stop amazingness, really getting a lot. I mean, if you get a little more analytical with it, a lot more of the characterization of Beerus, exactly what type of villain he is, because if you look at all the villains of Dragon Ball Z, we had the mafioso type of boss, Frieza, that just was like a conqueror and the whole universe was like a game to him. Then you had somebody like Cell, which, oh, I want to be more perfect, mate. Oh, I gotta be a little bit more perfect. Yeah, that was his characterization. Then you had Majin Buu, which he was just a complete fucking psychopath. He was either the Boo, or then he was just a nut job. And then Kid Buu was just absolutely out of his mind. But Beerus, not only does he want a challenge, he just genuinely wants somebody to match his strength. So I guess in a way it's kind of like maybe a Stark from Bleach, that is like, who can come up and match my power? Who can do that? Who can give me this challenge that I was looking for? Like Toguro from Yu Yu Hakusho, something like that. But it also felt with this episode that he was being sort of a teacher to Goku to get him to that power, which I guess it's very similar to Toguro and Yusuke's relationship in Yu Yu Hakusho, although to be fair, in Yu Yu Hakusho it was a little bit more close because of certain aspects. This one is just kind of like, I want to fucking fight, and if I gotta teach this motherfucker how to get to this point, I'm gonna do so. I mean, he was even letting him get jabs and let him get hits. I mean, it was kind of funny because it's an epic battle, but there's also a lot more comedy thrown in there, but it's not really taking away. Like, sometimes comedy can take away from the epicness and whatnot, but it's like when, he's pulling him by the nose and, they're fighting left and right. I did find it funny that Gohan was like, I think Dad might be even stronger. Like, how fucking, how off of the mark is Gohan with everything nowadays? Like, Gohan, bro, what happened? And you see that with Beerus, the whole sleep little quirk that he has of like, oh, I want to go to sleep, this and that. Like, it's a big thing with him because he keeps on saying, oh, this fight is making me tired. It's almost as if he's trying to use this fight just so that he doesn't go to sleep. And at the same time, it's like, yeah, he does want a really good challenge to, really make him have to work for it this time around. And I mean, granted, for the most part, Goku was getting savagely beaten. I mean, he was pumping him into the air with his fucking head, and just the epicness of this episode. I mean, the animation art wasn't perfect by any means, but it looked a lot of the time very fucking awesome and very gorgeous, especially when Goku would get back up and have a second win. I mean, you look at the fucking epicness. Beerus fucking impaled the motherfucker, and he still got up. This is one of those cases where, and I remember I had a conversation with a friend of mine in Cali that hadn't seen Battle of Gods yet, and I know, again, this isn't exactly Battle of Gods, but it's more so an adaptation of it, or a different interpretation of it, whatever the case may be. He asked me, oh, so let me guess, Battle of Gods, at the end of the day, it's just Goku defeats the villain, call it a day, whatever. And I was like, you're wrong. And this episode really made me feel like that again, where like, you're wrong, because Goku was getting his ass whipped throughout most of it. And granted, it does feel a little bit cheap, like, no, I got a second win now, I'm Super Saiyan God, motherfucker. But nonetheless, it still encompasses and embodies everything we fucking love about Dragon Ball Z, the fights, the crazy quirks of Goku. And I'm honestly really starting to grow to like more and more the Japanese voice of Goku. I mean, I know I've seen a lot of Dragon Ball Z back in the day in Japanese, but just with Super, like, you can hear the actual acting and the way she says certain lines and stuff like that, that it actually really has some character to it, and real, like, you really feel that she's saying it and stuff like that. You really feel like it's coming out of Goku's actual mouth, like that's something, how he would say it, and really slick. So I'm kind of liking that. And overall, this episode, I mean, Goku grabbing a fucking giant mass of energy and just fucking like bear hugging the shit out of it to destroy it. Like, it's just insane. The Kamehameha, everything, like, this is the action that people are going to love. Like, if this hits Toonami or TV in general, once this episode kicks in, everybody's gonna be like, yo, let me see more about that Dragon Ball Super. So honestly, a very good to a great episode. I'm gonna give this one an 8.5 out of 10, a high very good. I mean, it just fucking kicked so much ass. Granted, it was a lot of action, but it was also showcasing the characterization of Beerus, still giving a little bit more of Goku, how he's silly, but at the end of the day, he still wants to go at it. But really, Beerus is almost like a teacher, but he's teaching not necessarily because he wants to better Goku, but more so he wants a better fight, which it's a bit different from all the characters, the villains that we've had in Dragon Ball Z thus far. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode. Did it fucking kick ass or what? I'm sorry, like, I just really fucking love this episode. Yeah, reaction more so than review, whatever the case may be, but I love this fucking episode. And your overall thoughts, like, how do you feel? I mean, again, Battle of Gods was pretty fucking awesome, but it's episodes like this that'll make me think twice about saying, yeah, Battle Gods completely shits on Super. I'm like, I don't know, this episode, it's pretty fucking hype. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, that'd be amazing. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.